But
yeah, you could use like a hammer drill and just put a.
I could, but
Yeah.
you know, a lot of times I'm not going to say I'm going to leave everything just like this.
Oh, okay.
Because you learn as you do everything. How many times do you do something?
Oh
like,
yeah, I don't want that there.
It's like a YouTube video. You might set it up one way and you're like, that doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
Well, once I put lead heads into concrete, I got anchors in the concrete.
You gotta anchor it. Yep. Although I do find it does help with the medium-sized wobbling. You know, like where you were holding it with your foot, you wouldn't have to do that. Yeah.
I don't see any honey slinging out right now.
Okay. Is the datent, is it sloped, the bottom?
I would have to say it's coned.
Coned, okay.
So this center point is higher than
got it.
This. You can feel it up underneath there.
Okay.
But
yep.
You know, this does sit up. Well, you see how much it has to set up and allow for the weld.
Right.
And where they drilled it out. Yeah,
because I think like doesn't Hilco have the ones that it's actually sloped straight towards the.
If I remember right, I thought I remember one of their videos saying it angles like this.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
To that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the dant does have some that are coned down, but you put your bucket or your tap underneath the machine.
Really? Okay.
That way you are getting.
You're getting everything. Yeah.
I don't know how they hooked the shaft to it.
I don't either. Is that Max Hand or who's?
Dayton has.
Oh, Dayton.
I know this is the big one. It's like the 60 or 70.
70 frame.
frames. Yeah. Stick your finger in there to stop it.
Huh?
You stick your finger in there.
I do not want to stick my finger in there to stop it. We are all about safety.
Yeah, sure. Now what I do, me and DeMarco.
For the audience, DeMarco is Dave's imaginary friend.
That's right. Never late. Doesn't take breaks or lunches. Works Saturdays and Sundays. Everybody needs one. True statement, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. I'd rather have real friends like Dave. So you just put these right back in then?
Yep.
Well, this one there's still frames we need. You told me to stop on that one, so we'll start with this one.
I'll hand them to you if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. Let me yeah, that'll work.
I'll make you bend over your young back.
Yeah, my back doesn't feel young.
Yeah, I'm
1,
just
2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Strong back and weak mind.
If you don't have enough drawn comb, Dave, and you're coming into spring, you're getting ready to put your supers on, what do you do for frames of foundation? Do you put them in between drawn comb, or do you put them on frames 1 and 10, like the outer, and put your drawn comb in the middle?
In a perfect world, I only put 2 per box.
2 foundation?
Yep.
And where would you put those 2? Which
I would say in between like number 4 and 6.
Okay, so you
what I do, I'll be like, what's his name? Gosh dang it. Mike Berry.
Mike Berry. This is what
I do, not how to.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like that's the most commonly used expression in beekeeping. This is what I do.
There's a lot of variables. Obviously, you don't want your bees to the brood to get cold, but
right,
I know when to do it.
Okay.
So I feel that.
Yeah, I just haven't had much success getting the outer frames drawn. I got a little bee there.
I just feel you're going to overwhelm your bees if you give them a whole entire super. You know?
Yeah.
My daughter won't like this, but it's like when my daughter used to clean her room. It was such a disaster. She didn't know where to start. But if she would just do a little bit at a time,
yep,
she would eventually get there.
Exactly.
Even though now she's married and she keeps her house clean.
These allergies. Whew, allergies have been terrible for me this year. Of course, Louisville, Kentucky is like one of the absolute worst cities in the country for allergies.
I would agree with that.
Can I start it again?
Yep.
Or okay. All right. Dare I say this is almost kind of fun.
It's a lot easier.
Doing it manually is not fun. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get me one of those, and my dad will curse me because I want to keep it in the in the pole barn. My bee stuff is slowly but surely overtaking the pole barn, much to my father's chagrin. And he lets me know it too. Okay. But nah, he and my mom have been really awesome at letting me use it because it's temperature controlled. It's nice and spacious. The only problem is I can't keep my bee equipment up 24/7 like you can.
Yeah.
Because my dad does a lot of woodworking, so, and rightfully so. He's complained a few times that I've kept my bee stuff laying out, and he really needs to be working on stuff. But sawdust and honey don't mix very well.
I would say so.
And Dave makes fun of the shop because it's always so clean.
You could eat on the dang floor. That's why. I don't even think it's ever used.
Oh, it's used.
All right. I've been cleaning for the last 48 hours just so Josh wouldn't make fun of me. I don't get up to bottle honey. I just had to get up at 4 in the morning to clean.
Did you say you got into hives today or no?
What's that?
You didn't get into any hives today?
Yeah, I got into about 35.
Oh, okay.
I was just basically checking for eggs and to make sure
Yep.
they had honey.
That's what I did too. I just checked for eggs, see if they were queen right after pulling the supers off. But I really need to be checking for mites ASAP. Are you feeding any colonies?
Only my nukes so far.
So there's still food available out there for the bees to bring in. I mean, I think.
Most of mine are pretty good. The nukes are pretty light, but they just can't. They don't have the numbers.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. They don't have the foragers. I'm always of the mindset when I take all the honey off, especially with singles. I don't want them to starve, so I always think about feeding them. But I think there's enough out there right now that I don't think that's a risk.
Well, somebody put on Facebook that his nukes or his hives made a box of honey in like 2 weeks or something. So
yeah, I think we're fine. So you're going to tell my audience how you maintain 150 colonies all by yourself?
It's called I don't watch TV and I don't sleep much.
My dad was asking me about you today, and he's like, how many does he have? I go, I think 150. He goes, by himself? I go, yeah. He goes, how? I go, I don't know. He goes, he must be doing something different than you. That's what he said to me today while he was watching me. Because my tongue's hanging out after pulling supers off 20 hives. And my dad's like, he must not be doing it like you are, Josh. I go, I'm pretty sure he does. I mean, I don't know if there's any magical ways of pulling supers off hives and stacking them.
I will tell you, I do have an edge, a couple edges from most people.
What's that?
I roofed for almost 20 years. I roofed over 1,000 roofs in my life.
Oh, roofing, yeah.
So when you're up on the roof, you have to get done. There's no stopping. Your boss ain't going to let you stop. So
right.
You just learn to cope with it.
That makes sense.
And the hottest roof I was on, a friend of mine, it was 147.
Degrees?
147 degrees. We put thermometers in our tool belts just to kind of see. And
you get heat stroke.
You get used to you learn to tolerate it.
Jeez.
But that being said, you'd crawl up to the peak of the roof and you're like, hold on just a minute, I got to catch my breath. So
I think this is what you were talking about, where it's
a little bit of an angle.
Yep. Oh, okay. So you were saying they're just slightly.
A little bit of an angle there.
Got it.
Yeah. And I have not found a way to adjust the width of it.
To adjust the width, yeah.
but it's made in Europe.
Right. Dave was saying that the European frames seem like they're just a tad bit shorter than ours.
Narrower.
So the frames sometimes get wedged in this when you're trying to put them in there.
It's still better than doing it by hand.
1,000,000%.
About 5 more and you'll have to hold off.
Okay. That's so great. That's probably it on that one. A little bit of honey in that one, but not enough to fuss with. Yeah, I had to take
we'll
like
hold off on that one.
Hold off on it?
Yeah.
I had to take like 6 breaks today just because I started feeling lightheaded, got a headache. Went inside, drank some water, and 10 minutes later I was fine. But
I've also learned that I'd rather have my bees fail than me.
yeah, I think so.
So you can tell most of those frames were a little heavier.
Yep.
I could turn this on a lot faster, a lot sooner.
Okay.
And it's not wobbling at all. So I'm going to test that again.
Oh.
I'm guessing 17.6.
17.6?
Mm-hmm.
That's your guess?
That's my guess. Normally I'd lick this off, but since I have company, I better try to be more polite. I was a little off. I'm guessing 17.1.
0.1?
It's probably going to be close. That being said, because you pulled this from hot outside and this was setting at 76 degrees, so technically the ambient temperature in your honey is in the retractometer is a little different. So it might be close, but maybe.
So you think it would go lower, or?
I'll just say it might not be exactly right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't want to say which one.
I would think hotter honey would be thinner.
I would say, but
yeah. Right? That's why we heat honey in the bottle.
Is that going to be a difference with the moisture level?
I don't know.
Yeah. Either way, you're under.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It ain't going to
17's just fine.
Yeah.
That's only 0.5% higher than my sweet spot.
I preach all the time to make sure it's calibrated perfectly, but technically it's not.
What do you use, the olive oil?
I can use extra virgin olive.
Extra virgin olive oil. And that, what does that measure at? It doesn't measure at a percent. It's the other scale, right? It's the BBX. Bricks. Yeah.
I call it bricks.
Bricks. Is it 70 or what's it supposed to be at?
I have it on my freezer in
your
the
cheat
other room.
sheet? Okay.
I think it's 72.1 or 73.1.
Okay. Yeah, I need to calibrate mine. I haven't done it since last year. First bucket's getting full.
Yep.
So these are 5-gallon buckets. A gallon of honey weighs approximately 12 pounds. So when this is full, it's about 60 pounds of honey.
What size jars or bottles are you using?
I use 1 pound and ½ pound. That's it. 2 options. And then, God willing, next year I'll have some nice cut comb like what you have. I don't know if I'll do the mason jar like what you do here. So these have already been drained, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Because get me out of that. Forget that.
You're fine.
Thing's on.
But you're going to fill this with honey.
I'll fill it with honey, but I've also learned I don't fill them unless I'm getting ready to sell them, because if it crystallizes, it's a lot harder to decrystallize it with cut comb in it.
Yes, that makes sense.
It can be done, but it's a lot easier. Just not do it and worry about it.
So those are pint jars.
Those are pint jars. They weigh just a hair more than 1.5 pounds
when full.
When it's full.
So you're aiming for 1.5 pounds.
Yes.
Roughly. And what do you sell these for?
Those are $22.
Yeah. Yeah. Cut comb.
But the difference is it's pretty.
Yeah.
I sell the pretty ones like this, but you can see, you know, this one got a little wax missing off the back. So that's why I put it in there.
Okay.
That one's capped all the way through.
All the way through. Nice.
So,
yep. It looks to me like you have a lot of cut comb, but you're saying you had more last year.
Last year, I only did the 4x4 cuts.
Okay.
And I had almost 90.
And here's your blue ribbon winning ones over here, right?
That is them over there. And no, I'm not going to enter the same ones this year, just in case people's thinking that. Can't say I didn't think about it, but I'm not. Those are in the the cooler, all locked and safe.
Oh, isn't that nice looking? Come on, who wouldn't want to buy that? See, I need this. I need this on my table at the farmer's market. That's what I need.
Look, it's all about looking pretty.
It is. With cut comb, aesthetics is huge.
Yep.
It's huge. I mean, it's big with honey too, but it's even more important with cut comb, I would say. Presentment is everything. How you present it, what it looks like.
You think about it, the industry is based on that.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you, we'll just say my daughter, we could have the same product on the shelf, and I guarantee you she's going to sell more honey than I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to look at this. They want to look at her.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, we don't have that going for us.
Nope.
I can also tell it's on the higher end, meaning 17 instead of 15, because it's not filling up the strainer.
Right.
When you get down in that 15, it starts actually filling up the strainer, and the honey takes much longer to get through.
And I was going off of it's not ribboting as much as if it's thicker.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, you do this long enough, and you can almost tell by eyeballing it. But the shake test is another way. If you don't have a refractometer, take a frame that has open honey in it, it's not capped, give it a shake. If it doesn't fall out, generally speaking, you're safe. You always have to put those disclaimers on there.
Because there's always usually.
Yes. Some people, I mean, have extracted honey that did not shake out, but it was over 18%.
And sometimes the bees will cap it when it's over 18%.
Exactly. Yep. I've never tasted fermented honey, but I've smelled fermented sugar syrup. You open up a colony and you wonder, why aren't they taking this syrup down? Then you smell it and you're like, that's why it's fermented.
That's what I was going to ask you. Where in the world did you pronounce it syrup? Isn't it pronounced syrup?
Syrup? If you're from Kentucky, baby.
It's syrup.
I'm not from here, Dave.
Just like all you people say Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah, Reese's.
No, it's Reese's.
Reese's? That's recess is what we did on kids when we went outside to play.
But if you watch, look, everybody go to YouTube, watch the Reese's peanut butter commercial, and they're going to say there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
A Reese's peanut butter. We say Reese's.
I can't help it. You guys don't know how to talk.
You say syrup?
Syrup.
Oh, I say syrup.
And it's ramen noodles, not Roman.
Yeah, I say ramen noodles. Yeah. What gets me is the Canadians, Ian Stepler, they always say now I'm trying to think of the word. I was watching that show called Letterkenny and Shoresy. About. They say about instead of about. About. It's like, it sounds so different.
We like to say boogers a lot.
Yeah. Do they?
Boogers. Not that boogers.
Boogers,
like in pain in the butt.
Did you hear him on the latest Two Bees in a Podcast? Yeah. He was talking about how he overwinters his colonies indoors. Because, number one, the winters there are so harsh. It's like minus 40 degrees or something, And he has these giant, I guess, warehouses where he brings the bees in. And he said the most important thing is it has to be pitch black, or obviously they'll start flying indoors, right? I thought it was pretty fascinating.
Yeah, he actually has CO2 monitors even in there for his bees.
And he's considering putting cooling in there because on the bookend months, when you get some warming days and it's not super cold, it's best to always keep it cold until you're ready to move them out.
Yeah, the bees are generating so much heat. It's too warm for the bees.
Exactly, it's too warm. So, yeah, it's just so interesting the different regions, how different beekeeping can be, and what the strategies are, and what you end up doing. You seeing any honey coming out anymore?
There's still some coming up. I'll turn it up a little more now that it's leveled off. I'm not sure if you want to change that bucket out before it gets to the bottom of that strainer.
Yeah. Let me go get another bucket.
I know why the extractor's moving. I mopped the floor before you came. I got all the honey off the floor. It's probably stuck down.
It was all sticky before?
No, it wasn't.
All right.
Well,
that's probably enough video. We don't want. I'm sure the audience doesn't want to sit and watch another hour of us walking around. So,
is that all?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Special thanks to Dave for letting me use his honey house.
I'm gonna send him a bill.
What's that?
I'm gonna send him a bill.
Send him a bill. Yeah, right. I did show him where the on-off switch is on the license.
Not a computer person.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next video.